Hello everyone, welcome back to Coaster Xtra. Now today we are going to be operating the Mystery Mine at Dollywood on Ride Sims 2. Now this is a simulator in the beta stage of development, which means it's not been fully released yet, so some things may be subject to change. However, we're going to get straight into it, starting with the setting up the ride. So let's do this. So we're going to activate the power by just turning on this key here. Click it. Then we can click the E-stop to reset it. Then we've got to set our system mode over to maintenance mode, and this is so that we can turn on all of our block sections. We're going to do this by clicking on this little panel here and then clicking the all on button. And then we can close this down. And now we are ready to begin operation. So we are going to do some testing of the ride before we load guests onto it. So to do that, we're going to jump straight into a time lapse. Okay, so we've done some testing on the Mystery Mine, as you just saw there, and it went very, very smoothly. Therefore, we can open this ride to guests, and we're going to do this by clicking on the open part of the queue here. And then we can move up to the station individual openings, so we'll click here and here. And there you go. So now the ride is open, and you'll see that guests will begin to start coming in, as you can see from the numbers up here. And then also the numbers down here. Okay, so now that we've opened the ride to guests, we need to wait for some guests to come into the queue. So I'm going to just cut to when we have some more. Okay, so we now have a lot more guests in the queue. And now what we can do is begin to load them onto the ride. So we are going to first change our system mode over to normal mode so that we can load them on. Now that we've done this, we can progress this train that's in the dispatch hold part. This is just from when I was doing some testing. Right, now the train, here we go. Okay, so we've got two trains in the load part. And we can open the restraints of both of these trains by clicking the up arrow or the button that was on the screen just there. And there we go. Now we can load the peeps, which we're going to do just by clicking this button right here. And you'll see that they will begin to load onto the ride quite slowly. I don't know why it's taking them so long, but okay. Right, so they're loading onto the ride. And I would zoom into the station so that you can see this better, but the view button doesn't appear to actually work. I think this might be a glitch or, something that's not finished yet. So, yeah, I'm guessing that will come in when it's fully released, but yeah, you can't actually view the ride. Then we're going to click the left arrow button to close the gates. We're also going to click enter to progress the other train that was in the hold area. And now we can close the restraints of the ride just by pressing the down arrow here. There we go. Okay, now that's basically how to operate this ride. It's quite a simple simulation. So yeah, it's good. I do enjoy this simulation. It's quite slow paced. It is ranked as a moderate difficulty, which I'm not too sure why. But yeah, it's ranked as a moderate difficulty, even though I think this is personally easy. It's very slow paced, as this is quite a slow paced ride. And speaking of the ride, I'm actually going to talk a little bit about it now. So this ride reaches a maximum height of 85 feet, and it goes up to 43 miles per hour. Now, on one of the drops, it actually goes more than vertical, and it goes 95 degrees, so just over the vertical mark there. That is on the second drop here. It's just this second section where this train is actually about to go up. You'll see it in the light in a minute. And yeah, it's quite a slow pace layout. However, it does travel quickly at some places. And yeah, it does look like a fun ride, especially this dark ride section looks interesting. The theming, I think, is meant to be pretty damn good in here. There you go, you can see that train being dropped off. That's where it goes more than vertical. And there it goes. I'm guessing that's also where it reaches its maximum speed. Now, this ride has two inversions. This is a hardline roll and a dive loop. So these are actually over here. You just saw that train do them. And, okay, we've got a slight issue with the locking. That's okay. It's just going to be slower, which is fine. We don't actually have to do anything with that. And yeah, so the first inversion is this part here. That's the heartline roll. Then it goes into a dive loop. There we go, the problem's cleared. Then it goes into a dive loop, which is here. Now, this, in my opinion, looks like one of the best parts of the ride. You've got a steep, almost banked drop. Then you've got a heartline roll, which looks quite fast-paced. And then you go into a dive loop. And this dive loop, it like slows you right down. So if you look, there it goes through the heartline roll, quite quick. Then into the dive loop, and it slows down a lot. There's going to be quite a lot of hang time in that element. And after you go down that dive loop, you go into a little pop of air time. Now, this ride, yeah, it's manufactured by Gerstlauer. It's their Eurofighter model. And actually, like last year, in the 2020 off-season sort of place, you know, like in winter, the layout was actually modified of this ride to try and make it a little bit better. So, what they did is you see this part down at the bottom here after the first drop. It's got this sort of hairpin banked turn sort of esque element. And this bit was actually removed. So now it just goes down the drop into the helix and then up into the brake run, the mid-course brake run. And then you go around that other curve and into the next part of the ride. Yeah, so this bit that the train's doing right now no longer exists. It's been removed. In fact, it does actually exist. They did leave the track there, just as like a reminder of it. But yeah, the train no longer traverses it. It's completely unconnected from the layout now. It was an aim to sort of make the ride a bit smoother and just a generally better ride. Now, I think this like element turn sort of thing did look interesting. But yeah, they removed it. That's their opinion. This is located in a park called Dollywood. And this does look like a good park. It's definitely not one of the parks that's on my bucket list. There's so many parks I'd rather go to in America. For example, Cedar Point, some of the Six Flags parks. But yeah, this does look like a good park. The most notable ride there is probably Lightning Rod. And you've probably heard of this. If not, I'll just explain quickly what it is. It's basically this RMC topper track coaster, which has a launched lift hill. It's really fast paced, has a lot of airtime. That does look like a very good ride. If I were to go to this place, that would definitely be one of the main reasons for why. And yeah, this ride opened in 2007. I don't know why I forgot to mention that, but I mean, I told you now. So yeah, it opened in 2007, and obviously about last year, the layout was modified slightly. Yeah, this does look like a fun ride. As I mentioned earlier, it's quite slow-paced, but it's got those quick, intense moments, and that's what matters to me. The theming also looks pretty good, pretty top class, especially in this dark ride section. You know, there's fire effects there. It does look good. But yeah, there are better rides and there are better parks. However, this simulator, yeah, it's fun. There are a few things that need changed, like the view button doesn't currently work. However, I do like the block section all on button because it means you don't have to go through and click everything. So yeah, I do like that. And with that, that's going to be the end of the video, guys. So I really hope that you enjoyed. And if you did, then please consider leaving a like and maybe subscribing if you don't want to miss another video like this. Also, feel free to join my Discord server. It is the first link in the description. So thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.